Saturday, everybody! Welcome to Live PD West Chat. This is the Leo's Coast to Coast show, and we are live! You've waited a long time for this one. One of the most requested officers we've had. Live from Phoenix, Arizona, ladies and gentlemen, Trooper James Casey. Oh, it's a great day, my PD Nation. My goodness gracious, happy Saturday, everybody. We got some motley crew rolling in the background, and we've got Trooper James Casey on the phone. It don't get better than that, folks. It just don't. That's the way it goes. We're going to cut off the motley crew. We're going to go right to a picture of him. And Trooper Casey, how are you today, my friend?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. We're very glad that you're here, and we're thankful you took the time. I know that you're a busy man. Thank you very much for that. We're going to make sure that your picture stays on the screen here. Special thing from a person named Sick of People. Now listen, not a bad person. It comes across bad, but she's a really cool person. She lives in Las Vegas, and she said, special hello to Trooper Casey. She's really psyched to be able to be on with you here. Hey, my friend, happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you and the end of Police Week. How was your, it was National Police Week this past week. How did yours go?
It was pretty good. I was in training most of the week, so nothing real eventful this week for me.
Okay.
Just having to catch up on all the required training.
Okay, all right. Look, can you tell us a little bit, Jim, about your time in Arizona? How long have you been with the Department of Public Safety there?
Yeah, I have been here for over 10 years now.
Wow.
I got hired in January of 2008, and the first, for 5 years, I was down in the Casa Grande area in Municipal District 6, Highway Patrol. And then in 2013, I got moved up into the Phoenix metro area, so I've been there ever since. I believe it's October of 2013. I've been in Phoenix.
Wow, that's fantastic. And how do
so
you?
I used to actually, kind of just a side note on that. I used to patrol the area that Fidel County, Deputy McElwain. That was my area. I don't patrol the area he does, San Tan Village, or San Tan Valley. I'm sorry. But I used to patrol in Fidel County, Casa Grande, Maricopa, Eloy, those areas.
I love it down there, man. We used to go down every year for spring training, and that was when all the snowbirds were down there, and that created a mess all its own. But, oh my gosh, man, the smell of the citrus, oh, man, you live in a beautiful area. You really do. I mean, I know there's water issues and stuff, but, you see, I'm old enough to remember Phoenix when it was about the size of Portland, and now it's like larger. It's a larger land area than New York City in terms of its size, how much it's sprawled out. It's huge, and people don't maybe realize if they've never been to Phoenix or Scottsdale or Tempe or Mesa or any of those suburbs. You're talking about 4 and 5 lane roads that are basically through roads. That's not the highways. Those are basically your normal throughways. Yeah, it's amazing. Now, did you come from a different department, James, or did any special schooling before you joined the Department of Public Safety?
Yeah. I was in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, Pittsfield Police Department for 8 years prior to coming to DPS.
Okay.
I had prior experience before I came out here. I was a city cop there.
Okay. All right. And did you, now, there's a picture, and I wanted to post it, but I thought, I'm not sure. Were you in the Air Force?
Yeah, I was. I was in the Air Force when I got out of high school.
I'm gonna go ahead and just bring that right over here.
I did a form of air traffic control.
I'm sorry, what's that?
I did it's like a form of air traffic control.
No kidding. You know, I could see you being very good at that. You're very good at directions and helping give directions. We have a picture right now online of your Air Force uniform. Very, very nice. My wife also served in the Air Force. Thank you for your service. Thank you very much for that.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yep, absolutely. Could you talk about what it's like, when you were on a live PD week, right? Okay, so that you got the camera crew, you got the guy that's the producer in the field. Tell us about what it's like to work with them versus your normal job without them.
So, okay, well, at first it's different because, especially, both even as when I was in Pittsfield and as a city cop, and then when I came out to CPS, I've always ridden solo. Occasionally when we had like overtime details or something like that, or special enforcement details, they might double us up. More for the city than it was in DPS. I don't think they ever really got doubled up. So having somebody riding there with me was tough, or not tough, but it was different. And then my first, the first cameraman I had, Jonathan Burby, great guy. He actually did a lot of years on the first 48, the homicide show.
No kidding.
When I was a detective, when I was a detective in Pittsfield, I worked homicide cases. So, he had a lot more experience doing it than I did because, obviously that was his thing. But he and I could talk about the different things, different interview techniques, and it was really fun. It got to be really fun. And then, of course, we're joking, we're laughing. And the same with the crew in the back. Because the crew in the back was mainly there on the live nights. That was Friday and Saturdays.
Okay.
So usually it was just me and the camera guy that I had with me. And I think I had 3 total throughout the entire show. So.
Wow. So you had quite a bit of experience there with them. And you also went to New York as well, didn't you?
I did. I believe it was Mother's Day weekend last weekend. It was, I only got one show. I did Friday, and then if you remember, the Transformer blew because it was pouring rain on Saturday.
Yes, there was a blackout.
And the show got canceled.
It would happen to you. Of all people, it would happen to a guy from the East Coast, right? And the power would go out. I couldn't believe that because we were watching when that happened, and we were like looking at each other going, okay, it's going to come back. Yeah, it's going to come back. They're going to come back on. It's going to come back on. And after like an hour, it's like, they're not coming back,
Yeah. No, I know. That was pretty bizarre. Well, the thing that was interesting about it was I was doing, I don't remember, I might have been doing interviews on the live PD patrol, or I was doing an interview for something else. I don't remember, but I remember you could start smelling the smoke in the building, and I remember people were kind of like not running, but they were walking hurriedly towards the windows, and I was, and I was like, it didn't really faze me. Then I asked somebody when they passed by, and they're like, I don't know what's going on. We have another 9/11. Then it really dawned on me. I was like, oh my God, we're in New York City. That's correct. So then you saw the big black smoke, and then the fire department came up and they moved us all out. They told us we had to all leave the studio.
Oh wow!
A&E building.
Wow, what a night! What a night! So that was you were there in the studio when the lights went out, and then so the fire department came basically and escorted you out of the building and made sure you guys were safe.
Yeah, they told we had to leave.
And said it was just time to call it a night. So you got to go get home early. What a story, man! What a story. So, because you weren't on the air very long, and all of a sudden the show just stopped, and they talked.
No, we weren't on the air. No, not that Saturday. No, that Saturday we never went on the air.
Oh no! You're right. You know what, James? You're right. Yeah. You're right because we saw the little thing on the little crawl thing that said about what was going on. Yeah, you're right. Sorry about that, my friend. No, that's interesting. So when this happened, how close were you guys to being ready to go on the air?
No, we were a couple hours away.
Okay.
Because I remember there was still some time for, there was some time to see if it was going to get taken care of. So it was a couple hours because it's, you have to go in. like I said, they had me come in early for a couple of interviews, and then then you have to get prepared. They have to. I think it's the only time I've ever had to wear makeup in my life. You try to make me look better. It's a task in itself.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it, man! No, we don't do that here. There are no put downs in this place, my friend. You've been through heck and back, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But it's interesting because you hold that distinction of being there when it happens. So at least you got fed, because I know that they typically eat around 6. So y'all had some food to eat by that point.
No, we had to. Yes, we that night. Well, I did get fed. Yeah, we went to a restaurant because the bottom floor of the A&E building where you eat, where they set up the food. As I said the other day, I was pretty much the sprinklers had gone off, so I was in ankle deep water. So we ate. There was no catering that night. We went to a restaurant.
Wow.
When we waited out to see if we're going to be back on the air, but we never did. So they couldn't do that either.
Wow, great story. Good memories too. And it's funny because sometimes I think James, the things that happen that are really kind of freaky or scary or whatever, however you want to describe them, they become the best stories down the road. And pretty soon they become really full-blown, big-wound stories, So what a great thing. Hey, what made you decide back in the day when you were young to get into law enforcement?
I always wanted to be a cop when I was growing up. I always wanted to be a cop. I wanted to be. I mean, obviously, I think every boy wants to be a professional athlete, and that wasn't going to happen. I would have loved to have been a rock star, but I can't sing, I can't play an instrument, so that was out of the question. So police kind of was by default. I'm just kidding. Police was what I always wanted to do.
Okay, I got you. You're kind of coming in and out on the phone here, so I want to make sure you have a good enough connection with you, because you're such an important guest, and we're so grateful to have you. One of the things I remember, and I'm sure you do as well, you were in a chase on an interstate in the Phoenix area, and guy, goes running, he bails, and he gets up to the fence, and all of a sudden you tased him at the top of this wall. Do you remember that? And the guy just, down.
No, that was not me. That was Todd Poole.
Oh, and now I'm embarrassed. So let me just stick my other foot in my mouth and chew on that one for a while. Okay. I thought that was you, man.
No, it's okay, though.
No, I thought it was you. I really did,
You know what? I actually told Todd that next week when I saw that show, I told him he tased that guy. It had to be a good 25, 30 feet.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I told him that was a 1 in a million shot. That was a great shot he got.
Absolutely. He was a ways away from him when he nailed him, so that was amazing. So, sick of people, we miss Todd too. So, a lot of love for APD right now. For you guys, for your department, DPS there. Trooper James, one of the things I think that's really important with these shows is to give people, if they're interested in a career in law enforcement. So, for example, there's a young man that's in Georgia. He's a great kid. He runs a page on Twitter. It's a special Twitter page that he has, and he's worked hard to build it up and, really work hard on it. He's a great kid, and he wants to be a police officer someday. So what kind of advice would you give to him or somebody else who might be looking to get into law enforcement?
I get that question asked a lot, and this is what I always tell both younger men or women or boys and girls that ask me that. The first thing is obviously you got to stay in school, do good, or try, and then when you get out, it's kind of this is where the transition is, and this is what I always tell them. If you're a good student, do college, get a degree, and if you're not, think about the military. And those two